Why is it that we grind at our jobs so hard and play so little? The limited time off that we earn is a valuable resource that we hoard away for the things in life that we like most. PTO is all about the hobbies we do with our time off and what they do for us. Who knows? You might even find a new thing to try with your PTO. Or a sick day. Just don't tell the boss when it's a sick day. Welcome to the Paid Time Outdoors podcast.
You just stop and look around, and I realize that I'm completely surrounded by these things. I throw it, and it bounces off the ground, hits the chains, and because the chains are like this, it goes through the chains.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Paid Time Outdoors podcast. I'm joined by a friend here named Trevor. I know Trevor from back in the day when he was a high school. He was actually an intern for me at a position that I had, and we were so lucky to have him as an intern, and eventually he turned into an awesome worker that we were depending on all the time, and really we became friends throughout our period of just a couple of years of knowing each other. So, Trevor, welcome.
Thanks for having me on. It's been, I think we've met in 2023 now. Started volunteering there, made my way up through the ranks from volunteer to intern to, paid intern.
Yeah. And Trevor is a really interesting dude who has a lot of interesting things in his life that he does. So I'm pretty excited to hear what Trevor wants to dive into when we talk about what he does with his time off or his paid time off. So Trevor, would you mind running us through maybe like your first job or a job that you've had that you were really excited about? And it doesn't have to be a job that we work together with.
Well, really, that's with how young I am. That's really the main job I've had was working with you there under you as an intern. And that was really just an amazing experience, the whole workplace. It was definitely something. I'm lucky to have worked there for my first job.
Yeah, we had a fun time. Sometimes we would, screw around a little bit and like make fun things to do between jobs. I remember in particular, one thing we used to do is we had some Frisbee golf basket that was like mobile, and we would set it up, and Trevor actually kept a score sheet throughout the whole summer. We would throw like 2 holes a day, and Trevor smashed me because he's really good at Frisbee golf, but we would take a little bit of time in our break time to just go out and throw some discs and get silly and be fun. Are you still throwing discs these days?
I am. Actually, I've been, all over. Where was I just at? Oskaloosa. They have a really nice park there. It's huge. And the whole thing is just hills upon hills. And I cannot throw hills. So mainly it was just going into the dirt. But hey, it was a beautiful day for it, 80 something degrees. And it was one of the first times I've gotten back out this year. So there's always going to be a little bit of rust.
Yeah, for sure. You're a student right now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep. I'm at
Okay.
Indian Hills in Ottumwa and their aviation program. So I'm flying all over. It's been a really fun time. I'm almost to my private license. I'll be getting that here pretty soon. I just flew into Des Moines on Monday actually by myself,
Whoa.
and it's been fun. And then you're sitting on the taxiway and all of a sudden this huge jet just pulls out right in front of you, and it's like the most surreal thing ever when, oh, there's hundreds of people on that plane and it's millions of dollars. I'm sitting
Mhm.
here in my little tiny thing behind it.
Yeah, after his internship ended, I should say, it was like 2 weeks, and I get a picture of Trevor just like standing on a plane like, "Hey, look, I'm flying and landing already." I mean, that blows my mind that you jumped up there so quick, man. What was that like?
It's a surreal experience, really. When you're up there, it's like nothing else. You can see everything. You can do a lot of things as long as you keep it within your standards.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just been a really fun time. I haven't got to do as much seeing and playing around up there just because a lot of it's been training
Mhm.
mostly. But even then, it's been a fun time. Cross countries, I've gone to Cedar Rapids, to Burlington, to here, Waterloo, to Boone. It's just been all over. And when you're up there by yourself, you look out, you see like everything, you see the cars, you're going just about as fast as them in my planes. So you're not
Yeah.
getting anywhere much faster, but it's great.
So what's it like? Do you have like an instructor for like a short amount of time and you're just off, or what is it before you can fly? Like, what do you have to do?
So a lot of it is like preset. So you'll have this lesson, this lesson, this lesson. You'll be up with an instructor, and then a lot of it's requirements. So, like, to get your license from the FAA, there's a bunch of different requirements. You have to have this many hours doing this type of thing, this many hours doing this type of thing. So it's really just they set you up and they're like, "All right, you got to do this lesson. All right, you're done with that lesson. All right, what are the parameters for this lesson? It's solo. All right, go out by yourself and have fun. Don't die," is what they tell me.
That's just wild to me that after a couple of weeks, you could just get up there and fly, but, I mean, in a way, it also doesn't surprise me because, yeah, I mean, Trevor's been a high performer since I met him. So to have you up and flying is, like, a really cool thing, and really happy to see that you're up there, you're doing those things. So, are you currently working?
So actually, I just had my first day today at the Burlington Airport. So I started there working as an agent for Contour. I'm going to be all throughout there, making sure everybody makes it to Chicago and back to Burlington.
Oh, cool. So what kind of responsibilities do you have with your job?
Yeah. So I'm, like I said, just getting into it, but a lot of the stuff I do is going to be like making sure the airplane is getting out of there on time. A lot of just ramp stuff, baggage, tickets, things like that, just to make sure everybody has as smooth as possible process of getting in and out.
Whoa. All right. So you got this job, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty taxing and pretty exciting. But eventually, you're going to have a day off. Maybe you're not in class, or maybe you're, spending a weekend doing something you really, really like. So that kind of brings the topic of this podcast. So this podcast being all about the things that you like the most, what you save your paid time off for. If you were to call in sick for a day at the airport, hey, it's a nice sunny day. I'm sick today. What kind of things do you like to do? Like, what kinda topic you wanna talk about for out what you do outdoors?
Yeah, outdoors. I'm really an outdoor soul. I'm hiking, I'm fishing, I'm hunting. I don't know if you can see it behind me. That's the deer I got this year back up there.
Okay. It's a real nice looking deer.
Oh yeah. Biggest one I've shot so far, so I'm really excited about that. And
Mhm.
then it's almost mushroom season. Mid-April to mid-May is coming up. I am a certified wild harvested mushroom identification expert, if you need to know.
Let's say
So,
that 10 times fast.
yeah. So, gives me that ability to start selling them, start
Oh,
getting
that's
peak
okay.
mushrooms.
So that's what that means. So basically, you can pick mushrooms, you're certified to identify them so you can sell them? Is that what the thing's all about?
Yeah. So basically going through the process of this class to where you can see it's actually not just morels. There's a couple other types. There's around 6 to 8 types that I am legally allowed to sell that I can identify in the wild. And then I can make sure that they're, everything that they claim to be, because there's a lot of fakes out there that look just like it. But if you black morel, for an example, black morel, it looks exactly like a morel, but on the edges of like the spongy thing at the top, if there's a black line, if you eat that mushroom and then you drink alcohol with it, you can actually get very sick and it cause some things that you wouldn't want to pair with that. But it looks
Dang.
exactly the same.
Well, it's good that you're certified to do that. I imagine if you're selling, these mushrooms you get to go out and pick, you gotta be really careful. Is it, like, worrisome when you're picking them? 'Em? You're like, "Is this really what I think it is?"
Yeah, so sometimes it just depends on the whole context of the area, and then if you see one, a lot of the times, if there's spores here and this one's good, a lot of these around it are gonna be good. So it's just obviously making sure those are good, and then if you're with people, I'm around people all the time. I have
Mhm.
them pick with me, so a lot of the times I'm the one who looks through them all. I'll look through them when I'm bagging them and weighing them and making sure they're all good, but I haven't had much so far. There's been a couple iffy ones that I've had to throw out, but really around here, they're pretty good.
Yeah. What's the biggest haul you've had in a day?
Biggest haul I've
'Cause you
had
sent me a
in a day.
picture last year, you had, like, 15 pounds of morels over a
Yeah,
weekend, and it was, like, unbelievable. It was Mushroom Man McGee over here.
yeah. I mean, there's been some days where I'll go out and I get to an area and I just stop because I see one, and then it's one, and then it's two, and then it's 30, and they're all this big. And yeah, like you said, I've sent you some videos before. It's like you just stop and look around, and I realize I'm completely surrounded by these things. So there's times when we went to an area and pulled, I don't even know, 3 Walmart bags full, and you go out of there, you start a day with no pounds, you end up with like 20 in a weekend.
Mhm.
You're like, "Oh, I can make a quick $400."
That's like jet fuel for you, huh? What's the rule with you flying, right? Like, if you picked a bunch of mushrooms, maybe here in the Burlington, Iowa area, and you're like, "Hey, I got somebody up in Cedar Rapids who wants to buy some morels. Is it, like, against the rules for you to fly mushrooms to them?
It draws a fine line, really,
Yeah,
with the FAA, and I couldn't as of right now because 'cause I'm not certi I don't have a private pilot's license yet, I'm just a student pilot, so there's a lot of restrictions there, but
sure.
there's a fine line that you don't really wanna walk because if you get caught, they will take away that license,
Oh, yeah.
so I'd have to look in the book for that one because we got a whole big book full of regulations,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
yeah, I probably wouldn't risk doing that, but I might be able to, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if you're already a certified mushroom that long thing you said, right?
Yeah.
Then maybe there's something there. I mean, yeah. At the same time, I'm sure you have no trouble getting rid of them where you pick them close to home.
No way. It used to be something where, I'd walk in a bar and be like, "Hey, who wants these?" They turn around, "Here's $80." "Alright." But then last year, I didn't even have to do that. I, made a Facebook post, and it was just message after message after message. I'd have people on a waiting list,
That's cool.
and I go, "Oh, this person needs them. I better get out there and find them because I always manage to, and I think I pulled in probably around 80 pounds last year.
My goodness. Yeah, what's nice is if you have competition, you can also say, "Well, I got the same offer, but they're willing to come to me. They're willing to meet me somewhere. So, do you want to
Yeah.
come meet, save yourself a little gas or something, leverage that a little bit?"
Yep. And if you have mushrooms around here, it's run into the craziest things. So, like, I'm meeting this guy at Casey's and he wants to buy 2 pounds. Well, I brought five with me. So I give him the 2 pounds, but he sees I got a couple more.
Mhm.
And he's like, let me go to my truck. He goes to his truck. He goes, I'll get one more pound. Well, this guy over at the gas pump sees him walking with these morels. He walks over to me. He's just getting gas. He walks over. You got morels? Yeah, I got 2 pounds right here. I'll take them.
No way.
Yeah, I go with 5 selling 2, and I leave selling 5. And
Wow.
these guys might even want more because they have me in their
Mhm.
message inbox, and I think I get good morels. A lot of the times in the places I go, I pull out some nice ones that are decent size, and I bag them up, cut the dirt off, make sure they're all good, so I have people coming back to me, and it's been a really profitable business for me being only 18.
Yeah, yeah, I imagine. So, is the main mushroom that you find and sell morel mushrooms, or is there another one that you like to target?
So, I've mainly just done morels. There's a lot of people that'll pay alright money for some chicken of the woods or things like that, but I'm normally not doing much with that just because
Mhm,
I think that's more scarce to find than morels. When you get morels, they're all, "Here's a big cluster, that's a pound, that's whatever, $40." With
mhm.
some of the other ones, they're a lot more harder to find, and then a lot of times they can be higher up on a tree, depending on which one, or on a dead tree, and you gotta wash and look out for maggots and all those type of things.
Gross, man.
Yeah.
So, is there like a size of morel mushroom that is better than another? And I mean that coming from a background where, like, I eat fish, right? So,
Yep.
a walleye that's like a 9-inch to a 14-inch walleye is the perfect size eater. Anything bigger than that, yeah, you can eat them. They're pretty good. You get the cheeks out of them. The cheeks taste good, but they don't quite taste like the smaller as good as the smaller ones do quality wise. Do morel mushrooms have a similar thing like that where size is reflective of like the quality?
Yeah, so a lot of people like the smaller ones. They get well, and also the color. There's grays, there's yellows. A lot of people like those smaller to medium-sized yellows, but then also if you get a good large yellow, you have a whole, like, strip that's that big, and people love them. 'Em. They'll eat them all day long.
I've found a few morels, I think turkey hunting. I've come across some and maybe fishing a little bit. I thought they were pretty good, but I mean, some people are just nuts for them. Do you remember the first time that you went mushroom hunting or like you started finding them on your own without, dad saying, "Oh, look, what's that over there?"
Well, I've been pretty lucky. I have a timber that I'm able to go back in, and ever since I've been young, mushroom season comes around, my dad's taking me back there. All right, let's find a couple. Even though he's allergic, he can't eat them.
Man.
He's very allergic to them, but he'll go back there. He'll cut them up for us and cook them up for us, and I don't mind them. I think they're pretty good. But finding them by myself, I mean, as soon as I knew what they looked like, he'd send me out there, and I'd come back with a bag full.
Mhm. Do you have a preferred way of eating morels? Do you like them fried? Do you like them in a egg soak, some like buttermilk before you batter them up and fry them? What's your What's Trevor's recipe?
Yeah, well, I normally don't even make them. I give them to other people, like my aunt. They'll have a big, like, mushroom feast. So
Yeah.
I'll bring up like 2 pounds. Here, you can have them. And then she'll make a bunch for a bunch of people. They normally butter them and batter them up, and that's how I normally always eat them. And they're pretty good.
Yeah. Do you like to mix them with anything ever? Like you have your deer steaks with, morel mushroom on them, or what do you do?
I have personally not done that, but now that you mention it, I might have to try it.
Yeah, you could have like a full harvest meal. It's like mushrooms that you got yourself. It's the deer that you took last deer season. I mean, I'm sure you even have a garden at home. You can incorporate that. That'd be a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah, garden, everything. Fruit trees, looking to get
Yeah.
more of those.
What kind of fruit do you grow? Apples?
So we have some apples. A lot of what we grow out here is actually peaches. And that sounds weird for, Southeast Iowa, but we have 3 or 4 peach trees. And every year we have to cut branches off because they're hanging and snapping themselves.
Oh,
And we're giving them away. We're selling them. We're actually looking to put a bunch more in and maybe start something where it's like you come out and pick your own
oh,
right here in Burlington, Iowa.
that would be awesome. Do you have like a business name or a link that you want to plug for your peaches or for your mushrooms, Trevor? So like if somebody this spring is like really hurting for some morels or some peaches where they could reach out to you?
Well, I don't actually have a official website or name or anything, but Trevor Sklinski on Facebook or Instagram, I'm sure I'll pop up in this area. Shoot me a message and I'll most definitely be able to get you some.
That's cool, man. So when does the season start for you? I know that you said like mid to late April. We got a weird cold front coming through Sunday. It's going to be 13 degrees as a low in our region of southeast Iowa. We had tornadoes ripping through here last night. Like
Yep.
Donaldson, Argyle, they got hit really hard. Does that affect the mushroom season? Like when are you going to start?
Yeah. So really, it's all just that lower soil temperature level. So there's a map. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there's a morel mushroom map online. There's a website, and basically, it's just sightings. So I like to keep an eye on that. Right now, there's people getting them in where was it? Like South, like Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Memphis. That's where it was.
Hmm.
There's people finding them in Memphis right now. So there's pictures, and they're all coming up a little bit of South Missouri and Illinois, and once they get
Mm-hmm.
there, that's normally when, like 2 to 3 weeks, they'll be up near us.
Dude, I saw this crazy video. It might have been Tennessee. Well, this dude was like walking to a fishing spot through some puddles, and like there were morels just poking up out of the water. I don't know if you've seen that one, but like he's like, I've never walked through water and just found mushrooms poking their heads out of the water. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have not seen that. Not at
Yeah.
all.
So they're about to pop off here. You know what would go really good with some of those morels? Some spring wild turkey, Trevor.
Yeah, some spring wild turkey. We gotta get out there and get hunting them again
Yeah,
because
well,
it is almost coming up.
if you're in town, man, I'm happy to go out with you. Last year, Trevor and I went out looking for turkeys during the turkey season. We hit some public spots up. We bumped into some nice people on public and kind of strategized with them a little bit. But we didn't have success harvesting one. But I mean, we still had a fun time calling them and goofing off in the woods.
Yeah. And I mean, this year I've been really studying. I've been getting that insider information because I've sent
Yeah.
you a couple Snapchat videos. I got my own turkeys. They're out there guarding the chicken coop. So, I'll go out there, I'll practice my calls, get them to call back, and I'm getting into them where I can maybe walk up to one out in the wild. You know,
So are these turkeys at your place now?
they are. Yep.
They
They're
are
out there.
okay, and they
Yep.
protect your chicken coop. They'll keep predators away.
Yeah, they're actually very good at it. They have taken over the coop. They pretty much run everything out there. They're always with the group. If you go near him, he'll puff on up and try to get you. If you turn your back at all, anywhere in the yard, he will try to attack you. Luckily, his spurs are removed, so he
Oh my
can't do
gosh.
anything besides deliver a quick punch, which still hurts. But I've had to fight him a couple times because he guards very well.
Do you name your livestock at your place, or sometimes when folks they're going to eat them at some point, they don't like to do that. Do you name them?
We actually have not. I don't think my siblings might have. I don't
Yeah,
know what they've been up to. I've been actually gone, just moved back in. But
yeah.
yeah. Well, we actually aren't gonna eat this one. My dad has
Okay.
grown quite fond.
Oh
So
yeah.
this is gonna sound even weirder because of the whole farm situation. But we've been talking about getting goats, and my mom messages this girl on Facebook giving away these goats, not giving away, selling these goats, and we're coming up with like this whole deal. And she goes, "Well, we'd trade a couple goats for that turkey." And my mom was like, "Well, I don't even like the turkey anyway. It attacks people, attacks the kids. I'm fine with getting that turkey out here." My dad, however, he kind of likes the
Ooh,
turkey. He's like, "I don't know. I kind of like the turkey. I want to put him back in the timber."
he's my buddy.
Yeah, but I think he really just wants to put him back in the timber and see how they do back there. Because we have a male, we have a female. We're gonna see if maybe we can get some baby turkeys back at the timber if a
Ooh,
coyote
yeah.
doesn't get them.
Some Polts, get some back there. Yeah. Wow. Trevor, you have a very interesting life, my friend.
Yeah, well, I just stopped at Lowe's the other day. I'm the one building the enclosure for them, and
Yeah.
we're getting a couple of them. So I'll have to send you a picture once we get them.
So you're practicing your turkey calls, getting ready for spring turkeys?
Oh, yeah, I got the little wooden box. We're gonna see if I've improved it all. The ones here like it. He
Yeah.
responds, and he responds well. You
That's
know,
awesome.
if we run into too much hardship, I can always bring him with, just keep him on a leash, and then
I don't know if there's a law against that.
yeah,
Would we have to
I
put like an orange collar on him so nobody like hurts our buddy?
yeah, service turkey.
Yeah. He's like your emotional support turkey.
Exactly.
Sounds like he's your dad's emotional support turkey.
A little bit, yeah. They might hate each other when you look out and they're fighting, but they love each other.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I was just at the Whitetail Deer Classic up in Des Moines over the weekend, and they had like a turkey calling contest up there. And so you have to like pay to go in and do it or hear them and stuff. I didn't go in there, but they had some like pretty big time turkey callers show for that.
Wow.
Yeah, you ever been up to the Deer Classic up there?
I have not, but it sounds interesting.
Dude, it
Sounds
was
like I could learn
crazy.
a thing or 2.
It was crazy. So, like, they talked I mean, there was a lot of folks that were selling turkey hunting stuff, and, like, most of the things that the vendors bring are, like, 40 or 50% off.
Oh, wow.
So, I was up there, but between, like, 3D shoots and stuff, and I ended up buying, like, 2 pairs of Bottomlands camouflage pants for, like, 30 bucks a piece, and, like, I came home with some pretty cool stuff. But they had all
Ah,
sorts of booths of, like, all the hunters you watched on YouTube and all that stuff. And then, like, all of the turkey calls you can think over there. Cartel was there, that's a big turkey calling group. Woodhaven, they were up there with Woodhaven calls. It was, like, really cool. And, like, it's also really cool to see some giant bucks because Iowa just, like,
yep.
boy, did they have them.
Oh, I can contest to that for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Sam, I had some pretty good luck this year too.
Yeah. Oh my, yours was crazy. That's
Yeah. I've
one of
got
the
him right here on the
craziest deer I've ever seen.
I've got him here on the table if you wanna see him.
Of course. Here, I'll grab mine. We can compare. I know yours is gonna win because I've seen that thing, but holy wow,
Here he is, Trev.
that thing is crazy.
Here, I'll push this back so you can see a little bit better. Dang. Nice buck, Trevor.
You as well. My.
Yeah, so I submitted my deer to the big buck contest up in Des Moines, and you would think that a deer like this would do really well. No,
Yep.
no, not even like top 20.
Yeah. Well, my friend's dad does some taxidermy, and the pictures he sends me are some of the craziest things I've seen in my life. The deer
Yeah,
they have out there, it's like dreams. They're jumping over the pillows. I'm trying to sleep, and it's
nice. Yeah, you sent me a picture of that deer. I was pretty excited. We have a bragging board at work, and I printed one off and stuck it over there. But yeah, we had some luck this year. You take some does too?
yeah. Well, some people I was with did. I'm big into the party hunting during
Yeah.
shotgun season, and that's a great time. You can go out there, fill the tags. It's very cold, but if you can get it all done, a lot of what we take is meat. So that's what we
Uh-huh.
were actually doing when this came out. That one came out. He was booking it too. He had a twin, so it's just a twin with him.
Are you
And
sure you didn't just have double vision? You saw him and your eyes crossed. Like, am I really seeing this?
yeah, well, maybe that might have been that because he was huge. I didn't even get too good of a look at him, but what I could tell, they were coming up. Whoa! And I think it took a couple shots, and then it took me forever to track. There was blood
Uh-huh.
everywhere, but I think I hit him in like the esophagus.
Yeah.
So he was going and going and going, and then he crosses this ditch, and I'm like, "There's no way he can get much farther than this." And then I look up, all the way across the field, deer running into the abyss. Like, I can't even see any antlers on this thing. I'm like, there's no way that's him.
Mhm.
Ended up finding him a couple days later. Thing was crazy. Biggest
Yeah.
deer I've ever got.
Yeah, well, that's, it's quite an accomplishment to get a deer like that, Trevor. Congratulations. That's awesome.
For you as well.
Yeah, right place, right time, I suppose. It's all luck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
all luck, but yeah, deer hunting's a big one for me. Turkey hunting coming up here. I'm getting pretty fired up for my Wisconsin turkey trip. I mean, like, it seems like it's right around the corner. We're at like 40 something days until I go and do that. Are you going to be around for turkey season here in our area?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to get together and try to get after them a little bit.
We were definitely gonna have to. I gotta get my licenses this year. Have not got them yet.
Yeah. Well, your life has been pretty complicated between living in a couple places and flying planes and having peach trees, goats, and turkeys, you know?
It gets a little hectic sometimes,
Yeah,
but
so
all
so
worth
you're
it.
so you're moved back from school, from pilot school right now. You're out of home. Are you going to school from home, or are you taking a little hiatus to work before you go back? What's that situation?
So it's been, I'll go up a couple days a week.
Mhm.
But really, it hasn't changed too much from actually when I've been up there. A lot of the times when I was up at school, I'd only do stuff, 2 or 3 times a week, and I'd be living up there. So, other than that, I just do my work and then go explore places around, but now I get to be back with the family, and then it cuts my living expenses a lot, so that's really
Yeah.
nice, and I get to go up there 2 times a week. I'm still flying the same amount and getting those same amount of hours in, so it's really worked out very well.
So when you have classes up there, you drive all the way up, do classes, and then drive all the way back, or do you have a place up there that you can crash?
So it's weird. I don't have classes,
Okay.
like to say. So I have sort of online classes that I can do kind of whenever. What I go up there for is really my flight blocks.
Mhm.
So it's if I fly, Monday at 7:30 and then Tuesday at 7:30, I'll just go up there both of those days. Luckily, I do have a place to crash up there, so it makes that trip a lot easier rather than driving an hour and a half, driving an hour and a half, waking up 5 in the morning, driving another hour and a half. So it's been really good.
Yeah. Could be better, could be worse, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, I know there's an archery tournament up there that, that I shoot most years, and I'll have to let you know when I'm up there next time.
Yeah, maybe, or, I'll fly over top, get a good picture of you.
Yeah. Here's
You
what the
know,
targets look like.
I can fly low and then the other people's arrows get hit by the wind and then not that you'll need that. You're the best bow shooter I've ever seen.
Jeez. Hey, I had some luck over the weekend at the Deer Classic. There was a big archery shoot that I did. They host a pretty big one by Raised Hunting outdoors, and it was like they typically they take 150 people, and it's like a bow hunter setup, and it's 3D is what I did. I didn't do the three spot like the targets behind me. I do like
Nice.
the foam critters. They put the foam critters out and you shoot them, and so I had a noon shooting time. I went out there and I was shooting really well the first day on Saturday. I ended up in like seventh place, sixth or seventh place. And then since there were two guys that weren't making it back for the finals on Sunday, I got to shoot the finals. But we
Right?
stayed up a little bit late. Saturday I didn't expect to shoot. So me and the buddies were together super late, doing mischievous things. So the morning was a little rough, and I show up and they're like, "Hey, just so you know, you're still up to shoot." And it's like they're like, "Unless you get eliminated by some of the shooters before finals, like you're in the finals." And I look up and I see a couple of like the best shooters in our ASA like class that shoot Iowa 3D. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get eliminated. Like, let's go drink some water and chill. And turns out they didn't shoot as well as they expected. I mean, these guys are like hammers. They shoot really well, like every time I see them, but they just didn't perform great this time. So they're like, buddy, you're in the finals. I was like, okay, here we go. So I went out and finals was, we each shoot 5 targets. And they take the best score from that, and then the best score wins, like first place, second. They rank them like that. So 5 people shoot 5 targets. 3 of us tied for first, and then there were the fourth and fifth place. So fourth and fifth place were eliminated. So then there were 3 of us. And then to do a tiebreaker, since we had the same scores, they had like one of the guys that shot the best in the qualifier They had him pick a target, pick a spot to shoot it from. You know, he went and he took a shot and he shot an 8. And then the next guy was up, number 2, and he had to go from the same spot, shoot the same target, let it go, shot an 8. I was up and like everyone was staring. Oh, there was like a crowd
Yeah.
of people and these guys just shot 8s and I'm like, all I need is a 10. Center of that IBO and I get it up there and sent it center of the 10. Nailed the 10 and I took first place.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
My statement stands. Ever since you hit that walnut back at the nature center.
Yeah, it was cool. I won some stuff. I won a cooler. I won a $300 Grizzly cooler. I won another bow.
Okay.
So I just ordered another bow, a set of strings. I got some noise canceling Bluetooth chainsaw headphones, some there's like a camelback in there, some food plot stuff. Yeah, I mean, like $1,400 worth of stuff in this cooler for the shoot. And I didn't even think I was gonna be able to shoot the final, but they're like, "Yeah, you're up." And I was just lucky enough to have some good shots. It was crazy,
Yeah.
man.
I was thinking of this reference while you were talking. I can't remember his name exactly, but that golfer, what is it, Daly?
Oh, John Daly?
John Daly,
John
yeah.
Daly?
After the night out and you're going there.
Yeah, he's, like, ripping darts and, like, sinking hole-in-ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I know you're a Frisbee golfer. You ever ace and hole? I mean, like, you ever hole-in-one 'em?
I have not yet, but it almost happened about a month ago. I was in Atumwa at their nature center, actually, and I'm throwing this hole, and it was beautiful, really. It was like a tomahawk throw. So I'm
Mhm.
going up, and I go like this, and I throw it, and it bounces off the ground, hits the chains, and because the chains are like this, it goes through the chains.
No way.
I was, like, celebrating because I watched it. It was just bam, goes in, and then it right through. Very sad moment, but it'll come eventually,
Yeah, I've never aced one. I've been really close. I've bounced them off the basket before, but I've never,
you know?
hole-in-one, with the disc.
There's been some close calls, but not that lucky enough yet.
Yeah. So when it comes I know, like, we're kinda all over the place. I know that we talked mostly about mushroom hunting there in the beginning. What kinda tips and tricks do you have for folks who are mushroom hunting and not finding them?
And not finding them. Well,
Yeah.
I say a lot of it really just depends on when you go, where you are. So,
Mhm.
like I was saying, that late April, early May, that's really that hot spot window. And then a little, trick that I like to use is water. Everything loves some water. So if you can get into a place where there's some saturated soil and it's warm there, so that you got some nice sun rays coming in, an area where, the tree canopy might not be, fully enclosing that sun to where you can get that heat on the ground and you get that moisture paired with it, you're gonna get finding huge, huge clusters of them. That's really what I've done. I sent you a couple photos where it's you come along an area that's along this creek, for example. You get the sun coming down because the tree fell. You got a dead tree. You got the sun. You got the water. They're all over. So it's just that finding that perfect mixture, really.
I've heard some folks say that if you're downhill from a dead slippery elm, or they say if you find the May apples, you'll be in the mushrooms. Is there like a go-to, like saying, a reason you go somewhere? I mean, other than water, like you mentioned, rivers and water already are important. But is there any like old sayings that grandpa, like your grandpa's like, listen, bud, you really want to find you some mushrooms, you got to go to the sunny side of a hill, or is there something like that you follow?
So sort of along a lot with what my dad has taught me, huge dead trees. Those huge dead trees, they're putting a lot of nutrients back into the ground, and a lot of that's
Mhm.
going to be used, especially by those mushrooms during that season. I think it might have been the video I sent you last year, but me and my dad were walking, and there's a huge dead tree, here, huge dead tree here. They're just making a triangle. And in the middle of this triangle is, to this day, the most mushrooms I think I've ever found in one area. I
Yeah.
mean, I could turn in a full circle and as far as I can see.
Wow. Were the
Yeah,
mushrooms in the like on the trees or in the soil?
in the soil.
In
Yeah,
the soil.
so just everywhere surrounding the trees, really.
Cool. In the forestry world, we call those logs or those down trees nurse logs
Yeah,
because once they fall, all the nutrients that is within the tree kinda nurses everything around them so growth can just, like, sprout up anywhere that those the energy is leaving those trees. So, okay, go down by some water, you need a little bit of sunlight, find some big dead tree.
So, if you've never mushroom hunted before,
Like, where do you start? Like, think about this. I mean, you've been doing this for years, Trevor. Maybe somebody like, lives somewhere where they're not familiar with it. They don't even know where to begin.
yeah.
Start.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's a honestly, probably a huge part of why people are buying them from me so much because they don't know where to go, where to find them, and, when you're in the business of selling them, a lot of the times you don't give too many tips on where they are, so somebody will ask me, "Hey, where'd you get those?" I'll tell them, "The dirt,"
The
but
woods.
the woods, the ground, but in this instance, I'd have to say I mean, you obviously have to know the area that you're gonna be at. You don't wanna go rummaging around in this area you thought was good, and then it's private property. So,
Yeah.
what I would say there is try to find some public land, easily accessible, maybe that's off the side of the road. There's a couple areas here in Burlington along the Flint River where you can just park along the side and walk through those trees. And I feel
Mhm.
like a good indicator, if you haven't done much of it, you go to an area where there's some public land maybe, or you're driving around near woods and it's that, late April, early May mark. If you see a couple cars just sitting on the side of the road, that's how you know I know what they're doing in there. I can see them. They're walking through with their bags.
Yeah. What kinda bags do folks like to carry when they're mushroom hunting?
So, I mean, a lot of people tend to use like Walmart sacks because they're easy.
Yeah.
In more recent years, what I've done is sort of like a netting. So you get like a potato sack or something like that, where it allows
Mhm.
you to, as you walk and the mushrooms jiggle around, they're dropping their spores, back into the land. So you have mushrooms next year. If you have
Yeah.
a good area where there's a lot of dead trees, sometimes I'll just take my bag and be like, oh, I like this area. Let's sprinkle a couple spores around here to mark it on the map. All right, I know where
Nice.
I'm going next year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good piece of advice. I've seen a lot of people with, like, an iconic hand-carved morel mushroom hunting stick, and that's probably to, like, move leaves to look under so you're not touching poison ivy and stuff, and then, like, the mesh bag is another real popular one because the spores, you can drop it the spores when you're walking, come back next year and find some more. Do you have,
Yeah,
like, an iconic handcrafted morel mushroom stick?
I could not say that I do. A lot of the
Trevor.
times,
Come on,
I
man.
just rely on my eyes. As many times as I've put contacts in, I don't know why I'd rely on my eyes anymore. But I, I normally rely on my eyes, and then I also bring some people with me.
Yeah.
I
Well,
sit
probably
around for a while.
it's probably because 'cause you're so successful at finding them. Your hands are full of morels anyway, so even if you had a big old stick, like, "Mm, sorry, bud, I'll carry 2 extra bags instead."
Yeah, it's like a sixth sense. Sixth sense. I can just boom. They're like outlined.
Awesome.
But yeah, and then honestly, like you were saying earlier, they use the stick because they don't want that poison ivy. A lot of the times, I'll try to use that as a selling point for mushrooms. My dad has said this to me multiple times.
Mhm.
You go to the doctor to pay for walking out there and getting poison ivy, $400. You go to the
Yeah.
doctor, or 40, you can get a whole pound, and you don't have to do any walking. You just gotta meet me at Casey's.
Yeah. Fork up the doughs in a Casey's parking lot, and you got yourself some tasty morel mushrooms.
Yeah, good thing you added the morel in there
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you there are some folks that are trying to get some other mushrooms that you don't wanna be involved
in the
with.
Casey's parking lot.
Yeah. You ever been pulled over with, like, bags and bags of mushrooms in your car and been like, "I swear, like, they're morels."
Luckily, I have not, but I mean, I will say though, I have been stopped by like a DNR officer before when
Yeah.
I was out there, and they're like, "Oh, you got some mushrooms there?" Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I bet you that's a good way to get out of a ticket. They're like, "You're going pretty fast there, pal. If,
Oh,
that bag of morels happens to fall out of your car when you're driving away, I'll let you off with a warning."
yeah, yeah. I'd take that deal.
Well, excellent, Trevor. It's been really fun catching up with you. I'm glad to hear that you're doing so well. You're back down here in Burlington. You are living the dream, really, and that is a very special thing about you. You are flying planes, you're growing peaches, fighting turkeys, and also hunting down mushrooms. It's quite an amazing thing that you're doing here with your life, man, and it's exciting. Every time I talk to you, you got another thing going on, so kudos to you, bud. Keep up the good work. It's great to see you. I hope to see you around town to bump into you. Once again, great to have you on the podcast here. Thanks for sharing about mushroom hunting and how folks can get started in mushroom hunting and kind of some of the cool stuff that you're doing in your life.
Thanks for having me. It was a great time.
All right, great. So once again, this is Marcus and Trevor talking about mushrooms and stuff with the Paytime Outdoor Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode.
We'll see you.